Recording. Hey, welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex. The audio just cut out there, no worries. Playing more Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, only for a couple hours tonight. I have not been streaming much this week because I had family visiting. Oh god, I totally forget what we were doing. I love the line thing. Okay, so we were cutting back through Iowa, presumably going up into Minnesota. Yeah, let's go north. I don't remember my thought process at all. Listen to this. Where it's at a boy, yada yada yada. What? Long and strange story about night trains which carry corpses across the Dust Bowl. Oh, Jesus, that's dark. It's a great story. Thank you, kid. I think... What? No! How long has N been, Okay, so it doesn't say it here, but the N key, as in Neptune or Nectarine, skips songs. Well, mind blown. Alright, so one of these stories I have is now tier 3, and we don't like those tier 3s around here because they're too good. Can't replace that one still. With the Queen of Cups, I've been doing a terrible job of getting anything. Da, 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 da. Yeah, buckets of poison along local. Yeah. I'm not seeing anything in Iowa. Of course, I'm not really assuming that there's much in Iowa, because it's, Iowa. Nothing that way? I am not seeing a damn thing. Yep, up to Minnesota then. I am seeing a couple of things. What's the capital of Minnesota called? Don't remember. Don't remember. It'll be right here and I'm gonna feel it's not St. Paul. No, it's Minneapolis. St. Paul, Minnesota is... must be a real place. E key to interact? Yeah, that's right.
This church's doors stand open. You wander in to ask for a glass of water. There's no preacher, only a disheveled music teacher and a class of young men picking out bawdy songs on the organ.
Alright.
The group can't hear you over an improvised erotic limerick shouted over an equally indelicate tune.
Alright, we'll wait and listen.
The verses escalate in depravity until the music finally swells and comes to the grand finale.
Applaud.
Smiling, the teacher invites you to a seat in the pews. A boy returns with water and cookies. And as you eat, the group sings a song about genitalia in perfect three-part harmony. Wonderful! The teacher cries. Again!
It's my kind of music classes. Alright, moving on.
You suddenly become conscious of something heavy in the air. The light of the cigarette breaks the darkness. In its glow, you see the face. Something inside you wishes you hadn't. ¿Quieres esto? He rasps. Then, cigarette.
Nah, I'm good.
Right. He nods. Live longer. He leans to snub out the cigarette, and his whole body starts to dissolve. You watch him disintegrate until all that remains is a disquieting pile of, well, bone meal?
I don't like either of these options.
The cigarette still smolders on top of the heap.
So clearly a rational person would either eat the bone meal or smoke the cigarette. I guess eat the bone meal?
The bone meal carcass of the cigarette-smoking stranger isn't nice to eat. After a couple mouthfuls, you move onwards, feeling interestingly better than before.
Well, alright then. So now we're not hungry anymore, so I can go into Minneapolis and not have to worry about it. The Mississippi here is lined with grain mills, factories, and train tracks. Smoke towers rising out of stark... Smoke towers rising stark against the sky. Oh, okay. Some of these factories are empty. There's a tense look in a lot of folks' eyes.
3 delivery trucks sit on the waterfront, their drivers securing the cargo. 12 cop cars form a protective half-ring around them. Their occupants seem to be gearing up for combat.
What's going on?
You approach a pair of cops. The broad one pushes shells into a shotgun with a practiced motion and an undercurrent of excitement. His wiry partner indicates the trucks. We gotta get these through. Keep them secure.
Big guy, little guy. Excellent team.
The broad cop grunts. You been living under a rock? Strikers, says the other. Socialist motherfuckers, the broad one adds. The wiry cop looks away.
Why are they striking?
The broad cop sneers. Doesn't matter. They better fall in line. The other shakes his head. My cousin's out there. I don't think their demands are... Maybe you're standing on the wrong side. Come on. They walk off to join a briefing huddle.
Sabotage the car, man.
It's a token act of resistance, but it's something. You drop onto your belly, the car between you and the gathered cops, and locate the fuel line. You jab a knife into it. It takes a few attempts, but you nick it just right and cover your face as gasoline pours out.
Stand up.
You stand to find the thin cop watching. He looks between you and the fuel leaking over the asphalt. The two of you lock eyes for a long second. Go, he says.
Hell yeah, man. Earn money, train station, store, hot dish, apple juice, fried chicken, spaghetti. None of these sound that good. The apple juice does. I'm drinking cider anyway, so... Yeah. I'm gonna keep going north, but I have this wild suspicion there ain't gonna be anything up here worth going to. Then again, I didn't cut through northern Wisconsin, did I? I hit this river and then I cut on south. So maybe I should, or I hit that road and went south. Huh. Yeah, I guess we should swing by northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, or maybe there was just nothing up there? Yeah, let's cross this bridge. Cross. Yeah, looking like a whole bunch of nothing, but you never know. This game has had me thinking about our collective memory in the United States about the Depression. To me, it's been very, very colored by my geographic region, which, you know, probably makes sense, right? But it wasn't until playing this game and wandering out west and up and down the East Coast, I've never really thought about the East Coast experience during the Depression. I've always gotten stories of the Midwest, the West, the South, not really the East Coast. We're not going to be able to walk this, huh? Well, Duluth has some stuff going on. It, to me, just kind of exemplifies it because the Depression has such a place in our cultural imagining as this ubiquitous event that hit most of the United States in the same way. And of course, I imagine in the comment section all this is going to invite us like, well, I didn't think of it as ubiquitous because herpa derpa derpa derpa. But come on. In the same way that people think about the 50s as being this time where everything in the United States was 1950s culture and the 20s were the roaring 20s. When we teach and think about history or even tell stories, as is the subject matter of this game, oftentimes we oversimplify things to a terrible level. The Great Depression, like any other economic depression or economic event, would have hit people in different regions differently. And, you know, it's one of the largest defining events in the early 20th century for the United States and really for much of the Western world. Yeah, when we're taught about it in school, it's often as something done in passing. We don't learn about the programs that actually got us out of the Depression. We don't learn about the rise of socialism in the mid to late 1800s, early 20th century. We don't learn about the role of labor and all sorts of other things.
You come across the two musicians on the corner, playing no louder than a murmur. The blind one to the left doesn't sing so much as moan. If we are willing, he will teach us to love our brothers, to dance and sing.
Stay.
It continues. We dream of his seat in heaven. Around our heads his flowers ring.
Stay?
Oh, Prince, in heaven we sing for rapture. We all must perish, our flowers and our names. But the flowers in our Prince's kingdom, they shall not perish, they shall remain.
This sounds like a lot of not so great hymns that I had to sing when I was being raised Catholic. Stay.
There is a joy there, and there is friendship. For our passage we shall sing. We dream of his seat in heaven. Around our heads his flowers ring.
It really does sound like a hymn to me.
They stop and look at you.
Or maybe it's just because I'm so used to hearing
hand.
hymns sung by people who are tone deaf and can't really carry a tune, but tip.
You throw them a coin. Obliged, they both say, and sing the song all over again.
Dope. Interminable song.
Oh no, he's not coming over to you, is he? Hello there, the preacher says through a glued-shut smile that's too wide and too smug. Have you heard the good news?
Yeah, I donated it. Fuck off.
Bang! He slaps you hard across the face. Then tell me, goddammit! He screams, dropping the Bible and grabbing your face with his gnarled hands. Tell me! You fend off his scratching and slapping until some good Samaritans drag him off to the drunk tank.
I like the story, that interaction. Subverted expectations! Tiny Motormouth is eagerly sharing the details of a strange story with her brother as they litter outside the store. The boy listens raptly, eyes grow larger, mouth hanging open like a fish. He's telling him about a sugarcane farmer who took criminals from the jails and worked them in his fields until they died. Try to hide your surprise. It's a story of sugarcane cutters blinded to the threat of death. The version the girl must have heard is embellished, to say the least, but hey, it's a good story.
You, she snaps. Level with me now. Would you walk 10 miles every day with heavy bags under your arms and a silly box on your head for some bent, double-crossing, hopped-up, out-of-shape man?
No. Would you?
That's what I said, too. At first. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you.
The bitter lever carrying a box on her head. Oh, this guy again. Alright, yeah, tell me your story. Millions of colorful butterflies sweeping across the test sky. Found a typo. This is why you get copy editors. It's a couple of minutes, but suddenly you recognize it as the story of the beautiful butterflies. Whoever told it to the farmer changed, well, a lot, but still pretty good. Story happened to me. Bullshit. You're a good joker. Yeah. Alright, I guess cutting across Minnesota into North Dakota, probably go to North Dakota till we hit here, going south into South Dakota, then Nebraska. Yeah, then we might actually hit the majority of Kansas, Oklahoma. I'm expecting this section to be about as bad as driving through this section of the country, which I mean lots of big open spaces, not much to look at, not much to do. Flyover country, as it's referred to by the left and right coasts of the United States, East Coast, West Coast, is oddly appropriate. Nebraska did not fit well with me when I traveled through there, nor did South Dakota. I didn't grow up in the most multi-ethnic part of the United States, Indiana and Kentucky, but damn, it scared me how many white people there were around. It was only white people. It's very uncomfortable. The barn seemed abandoned, but soon after you nod off in the musty hay, you're woken up by the yowling of cats. The little girl who wandered off with them shrugs. You can stay, she says. Dad isn't working down here today. She's right. You get a full evening of unbroken sleep. That was nice of her. It tries. Fargo.
In the morning, migrants line the street in an obedient queue. Heads down, stomachs grumbling. Every couple minutes, the line lurches forward like the yank of a chain. They're waiting to get into a warehouse. You can't tell why or what's inside.
I mean, it wouldn't make a good story to move on, so let's get in line.
Time passes.
Stay 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 in line.
Finally, you're ushered inside. A calf's been dumped on the dirt floor, its exposed flank picked apart to the bone. There's a slit running down its stomach, spilling sand instead of blood.
Huh.
A butcher in a muddy smock stands over the cow with a knife, gesturing at you to choose a cut.
Take some meat?
You eat for the day. You've had better.
Huh. Move on. Huge storm. Oh yeah, produce inside before the storm. Help us out, get money. Yeah.
This abandoned rail yard is full of broken old boxcars. So of course, people are taking shelter here. The looks they're giving you are a little less than friendly. You search around for an empty space to rest.
Vacant
There's a
box
heap
car.
of rags and sticks in the back of this boxcar. You start digging around, looking for tinder, and the heap starts moving. Hands off, voice yelps. A long, knotty arm with nails like rusty screws darts out and shoves you away. You see big yellow eyes and a flash of snaggle teeth. "This is my home," the creature informs you. "Are you moving in?" "Well, you can't. I have the deed for the car. I do the chores around here. I have a lawyer. I'm respected in the community."
Now hold up, the deed?
The creature's muddy fist emerges with an official document. The actual deed for the property. There's even a clause describing the boxcar itself, rust and all. The creature's signature is a bloody smear.
Alright.
The creature's arm is long enough to shove you all the way out of the door and deposit you outside. "You don't come into a man's home and set his bed on fire,"
Well, maybe you
he
don't.
shouts and slams the door shut.
Alright.
Across the street from this bar, a man in full uniform stares fixedly at the horizon. The older guys on the porch are watching him with an expression you read as deep distaste. "That boy wasn't in the war," one tells you. "His older brother died in France. The junior here tells people he fought, and he stands there in the middle of town once or twice a week in his brother's uniform, so we gotta see it." He spits in the dirt.
I kinda doubt that's what's going on.
The old man's face blooms suddenly and violently red. "Fuck you! You want to see a poor guy?" He lumbers across the street, and a hunting knife you didn't notice emerges from a sheath you didn't see. "Junior!" he shouts. "You piece of shit! Get out of here!" Suddenly, the old man is flat on his ass. Junior sprints into the long grass. As far as you can tell, the old man is unhurt. He cries, "Look what he's done to me!" Rolls up the edge of his shirt. The only wound there is the dark triangle of an old bayonet scar, healed long ago.
Alright. Huh. Alright, tell me a story. Cart horse faster than a steam train. No, can't do it. Oh, need to breathe more than I'm breathing. Do, 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 ba, 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 ba.
Looks like the cat staked its claim. Share a meal with me? It asks, swinging tail brushing the corpse. He's still partly fresh. It has been a while since you last ate.
The Missouri River didn't say Missouri River. It said I Missouri River. Oh no, this one says Missouri. But the other one had IMISS. That one said Missouri. I think there might be a slight problem with the Missouri River font. Missouri, correct? RIV, you're doing it? ER. Alright, yeah, that one's right. Those first two did not say Missouri River. Yeah, eat with cat.
Can't be choosy in hard times. You sit with the cat and roast the horse flesh over a fire. It's tender meat. It was a beautiful horse. Not much older than a colt.
River.
Ever been in love? The cat, making small talk.
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever loved someone so much that you could not bear to think of life without them?
Ain't right. That's completely gone. Sure, yeah, I know that.
If you did truly love someone like that, and they didn't know it, and you were brave enough to tell them, and they rejected you, do you think you would be able to just move on?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but everybody's gotta do it.
Then how can that love have ever been that important to you? The cat scoffs. I couldn't let go of something like that. I wasn't able to. But he's inside me now. And you too.
Missoir. Yeah, okay, that's creepy, but hey, we got food. It's kind of a weird perspective. I mean, of course, the way that we feel about things and people changes over time. And someone who hurts you by rejecting you, you can get over a lot faster than someone who you never asked and were never rejected by, because then the doubt of, well, maybe they would have accepted, or maybe things could have been different, keep you coming back to it. Bismarck, North Dakota.
The child murmurs softly. The woman blurts out a reply. Don't call me that. Just don't. When she realizes the impact of her words, her face crumples with regret. Then she notices you. Please, could you help?
What do you need?
Have you heard about a missing child? Any reports of a girl like this? She nods to the girl tucked under her arm. The girl gasps as if slapped and pleads with the woman. I'm not lost. Why are you being like this?
Question the child.
Mother's playing this game. She says she doesn't know me. Of course she knows me, but she won't stop.
Doubt it.
There's no particular resemblance between them, but they could still be related. The woman blurts, I've been ill, feverish, but I wouldn't forget my own child. She can't be mine. But what can I do with her?
Sheriff?
Thank God. I just wanted someone else to suggest it. They'd consider me a monster just for thinking it, but she's not my daughter. I can't raise her. Life's hard enough as it is. The child stares at the woman in abject horror, but says nothing.
I mean, if the child is hers, presumably there's a birth certificate on file indicating such. Maybe not.
Outside this restaurant, a middle-aged man in a suit and a full clown makeup is gobbling down a sandwich.
Alright.
2 tracks of silent tears have carved furrows through his makeup.
Alright.
He gulps hard. Tears start up at the corner of his eyes again. I'm gonna work for a traveling show.
Imsuri River.
No, that's the problem. He pulls you into a drunken, one-armed hug and whispers, he would only hire me as the manager of the clowns. His eyes are wild and unfocused.
Misery.
God, these tears are real. I'm not good enough to perform, but they'll let me push paper.
Will you make more money?
That's not the point, he cries. Run away with the circus, they say. Run away? I've got 3 kids. I can't take chances. I need real pay. He seizes you by the collar. Never agree to do something you hate, he says. If you get too good at it, you'll never do the things you love.
Wait, he wanted to be a clown, but they won't let him be a clown because he's too good at it, so he's getting paid more instead. Okay. Ran away with the circuits. I got 3 kids. I can't take chances. I need real pay. So it sounded like you're happy about the money because you need the money. This isn't reading. I don't know. I am confused. This was on this side of the river. This was on this side of the river. We haven't crossed that river. Do I snake back here? Probably not. I feel like if there was anything major, I would have noticed it down here. Of course, I don't remember where the capital of North Dakota is, or even what it's called. Presumably, though, it would be along the road and rail lines. Of course, that's quite a leap. Oh, there's Fargo. So I guess we go and cross that river. Cross the Imsuri. Alright. Cross. So we have this corner of fine country to wander through, then we cut back into South Dakota, go over this house, South Dakota, cut into Nebraska, do all Nebraska. Yeah. So in the half hour I've been streaming so far, we started out in Iowa, managed to wrap through Missouri and North Dakota. I think it's fair expectation we can probably get through Nebraska by the end of this hour if I don't dick around too much. Not if I keep missing those cues, I won't. What's hitchhike? Hitchhike is Q? Yeah. I've gotten hitchhiking to work once, and then I only did it because the game was asking me to. Do I need to face the car so that they can see my thumb? Do I need to be on the road proper, facing them so that they can see my thumb? Do I just hit Q once? Hit Q once? No? Looks like it's a held prompt. Oh shit, there it is. Oh, and I'm like immediately going to want to get out. This will have saved absolutely no time. It's okay, you stand on the road staring at the car. and then you'll get a prompt sometimes. That saved me no time at all.
The cookhouse is in disarray. Dirty plates and scorched pots scattered outside the tent. A young woman frantically scrubs, muttering. She blanches in panic as you approach, but forces a smile.
Who'd you kill?
She shakes off the suds. Her hands and arms are marked with knife nicks and narrow burns.
Don't mind the mess. You look hungry. Take a seat. I'll work you up a little something.
Okay.
As you sit, her fire-tanned face cracks into a smile of relief. She steps into the tent, and there's the discordant clanking and hissing of a cook at work. She emerges with a plate, a blackened sludge of beans and sweaty gray meat. Eat.
Discordant clanking and hissing of a cook at work. It's a great way to put it. Choke
She
it down.
watches intently as you force down the first mouthful. Suddenly, her eyes widen.
I forgot your drink. Let me...
But the fire flares inside the tent.
No!
She gasps, staggering inside. The fire blazes again, and the woman screams.
What?
The heat stings as you enter. The tent's a jumble of empty cans, and there's the stink of rotting vegetables and burning meat. Your host is gone. A dark shape squats at the heart of the cook fire. It's time to leave.
Yeah? Alright, I'd say so. Not expecting to see much of anything in South Dakota. Wasn't expecting much of anything in North Dakota. Truth be told, we got more in North Dakota than I was expecting there to be. Pierre. Pierre, South Dakota, huh? Didn't know that this was a place. I may have driven through it and still not known that it was a place. Don't let me down, Pierre.
An old woman watches as you approach her bench. Oh, aren't you a good-looking one? She
Likes
says.
the bones.
A broad smile creases her face. This is an excellent spot. Everyone passes me eventually. She pats the seat beside her. Join me for a moment.
Hell yeah.
She rests her head against your shoulder, as if you were old companions. Look. She runs a hand down your arm, points across a field to a lone tree silhouetted against the skyline. I think of myself as like that tree.
What do you mean?
She glances at you, waiting for a reaction.
Yeah, that's what she means.
Strong, healthy, alone. I've seen that field filled with plants and ravaged by fire. The trees outlasted everything. She giggles, strangely childlike. I've had 3 lovers. 2 men, 1 woman. Outlived them all.
I'm laughing at the Missouri River being spelled wrong because I forgot that this was the Missouri River and then Missouri River. I gotta say, the queer representation in this game is on point. It's not overstated.
I don't grieve. Each one brought me joy, and each death brought someone else to comfort me. She sits up straight, shifts to face you. The tilt of her head is coquettish. Would you let me kiss you?
I'm gonna go with no. I'm a pile of bones, and if you're that tree, I don't plan for you to outlast me.
Her laugh degenerates into a cackle. Your loss. Well, I always was an excellent kisser. But perhaps you've got someone else. Remember, there always can be someone else. Doesn't do to get hooked. Mischief puts crow's feet by her eyes. She shoos you away with a warm smile.
Ah.
Afternoon. The fish nods affably. He swings his catch over his shoulder, grunting with effort. Got a big one today. Gonna eat it while it's fresh. They're welcome to join me. There's plenty to go around. He climbs off the jetty and lays the body on a large rock.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, just normal fishman here. Nothing weird going on here at all.
He works with practiced efficiency. To remove the shirt, the fish cradles the body in his arms. When he removes the man's trousers and underwear, the gesture he uses to lift the corpse's hips is almost intimate. It seems the fish is taking care to not cause bruising. The fish trims the man's hair, head, chest, groin, even legs. Then, he stabs the knife into the man's chest, leaning hard to force it open. The bones part with a crack. Fish guts the corpse and tosses away the offal. You gonna help me get it on the fire?
Alright, fishman. Sure, why not?
You prop the body up while the fish skewers it on a rough spear. The corpse sags in your arms like a drunk. Together, you lay the body over a pit of hot coals. Its flesh sizzles. There's a sharp, sour smell, swiftly overwhelmed by the odors of cooked fat.
Breathe in those hearty aromas.
Tantalizing, isn't it? Smell alone makes me famished. The fish rolls his eyes in a melodramatic expression of desire. He flips the body over and tests it with a fork. This bit's ready. Want some?
We're in this deep.
The flesh is chewy, rich, and oozes flavor. It is the sweetest of savory dishes. The warmth trickles down your throat and stokes your hunger. This is a meal that leaves the diner craving, not sated. Don't rush it, the fish warns. You'll get hiccups.
Good old cannibalism. 110% true. Heard it from my nephew. Happened to someone he knows as well. Story of a storm generated by a gigantic bird. So I guess we walked down the width of the state looking for other stories. Though I ain't seeing much of anything. Ah, well, still obligated. Oh, well, never mind. There's the end of South Dakota. One thing I will say is that it is damn difficult to turn the camera and whistle at the same time because I need my right hand to be hitting the arrow key prompts for the whistles. But I also need my right hand to be poking away at the mouse and move it. But there, I just knocked the mouse way off to the side. I kind of doubt there's going to be anything in here. I said I was going to cut across here, so let's try doing that. Maybe there's Nebraska right there. I'd love for a river crossing. Not looking like it though. Oh well, there'll be one eventually. I gotta go into Iowa to cross over, alright. Got about 15 minutes to wrap through Nebraska. Is that gonna be enough? Well, maybe. Maybe not, but we gonna find out. Omaha, Nebraska. Right into the heart of it, I guess. Yeah, Omaha. Hello. History in this place going all the way back to Indian times. Strange stuff happened around here. Dead woman with a yellow ribbon. Story of the elegant woman in a small town, but wilder and stranger.
The old man sits by the roadside. A post protrudes from the dirt. A mismatched set of horseshoes tethered to the top with colorful string. I wish I knew where it went, he mutters. He glances up and startles. I know you. We've met before, haven't we? I know you.
Don't think so, man.
He stands, triumph in his smile. It's been 50 years, but I'd recognize you anywhere, General. He fingers his lapel. I don't have it anymore, but I remember that day so well. You shook my hand. He offers that hand to you.
Yeah, I don't know you.
He blinks rapidly, then his eyes focus. Sorry, stranger. He smiles awkwardly, clearly embarrassed. My eyes aren't what they were.
Get you some of
He
these.
said this was a place for finding lost things. He nods at the post. I guess I saw what I wanted to.
You often do, my dude.
Little piece of history. He brushes dust off his lapel. I guess some things are best left in the past. Maybe that's the lesson.
Alright.
Want your picture taken?
The man's smile is eager. His teeth are sharp. His companion glances up sharply.
I told you, I don't like it. No more till we know it's safe.
What's the problem?
The second man spits his words out.
We're killing people. We take their damn picture. A few weeks later, a newspaper wants it, and it's always a fucking obituary.
The sharp-toothed man shrugs. Traveling alone is dangerous. Not our fault. So, want a photograph?
How about I take yours?
Neither responds immediately. The sullen man barks a laugh.
Not so sure now, are you? It's your damn camera. Fuck it, I'm no coward. You getting the photograph? So will I.
His goad works. His sharp-toothed companion jerks his chin up and strides in front of the lens.
Alright.
The men rush to their darkroom. They're out barely 20 minutes later. Neither looks happy. The sharp-toothed man thrusts the picture at you.
Doesn't make sense. Must be broken.
His image is sharp, in perfect focus. His companion appears only as a blur.
All right. Old man shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders. Hey, you want to hear a story? I do. Cloud tinged the color no human had seen before. Yeah. Alright, let's just head straight east. So we hit Colorado, then double back into Kansas. Got about 10 minutes to do it. Should be about right. Yeah, I see the cars. Yeah, I know, it might be smarter to take a car. But, well, I haven't been passed by a car yet, I say, looking as if it's gonna happen. Damn it, there it goes, yeah. Oftentimes there's little stories and things to interact with off of the main road, and that's what I'm trying to keep more of an eye on, but this highway does just cut right through the heart of Nebraska. There it is, Colorado. Nothing over here. Not looking like it. Nebraska does have this chunk up here, but it's looking fairly empty. I'm gonna swing over and double check just to make sure. I'm pretty thoroughly convinced there's not anything worthwhile up there. Yeah, looking fairly empty. Alright, Colorado, your day will come, but it is not today. Gonna try and get in Kansas. What's the capital of Kansas? I don't remember. It's not Kansas City. Because Kansas City ain't even in Kansas. Capital of Kansas is... I cannot... No, Memphis is in Tennessee. Wow. No, can't remember. Oh, I'm sure whoever my 4th or 5th grade teacher is awfully disappointed that I don't remember my geography. This is a new song. Seen a single thing in Kansas. Want to turn the camera up? What? You've died? Excuse you? What? The whole dying mechanic doesn't really...
Bad luck again, but there's no shame in dying. Everyone does it.
How did I die? No, but how did I die? It wasn't from low health. Was it from exhaustion? Because it looked like I still had half of my energy left. Game, you're doing a bad job conveying things. This seems like a good place to make a cut. So, I'm gonna do that. Because I want to give this its due time. And I'm gonna run off and grab another cider before our next hour. But if you were watching on Twitch, don't worry, I'm gonna keep streaming. If you're watching on YouTube, gonna have to stop by again tomorrow, I'm afraid. But until then, make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe, all that silly shenanigery. Till then, toodaloo, take care, I'll see you next time, bye!